This is Something to Hold This, where our mission is to bring people closer to their emotions through conversations about our life experiences to understand not only who we are, but who we want to be. Today I have joining me.
Matthew Dorissaint, or you can call me Matt Too Blessed.
Okay, that's the first time I had somebody introduce themselves like that. Shout out to you. Okay, Matt Too Blessed. Where you get that
Yes,
from?
sir. Um, Actually, someone gave it to me. This was years ago. When I started something called on Facebook. You know, they had those Facebook groups. I started something called the Too Blessed Nation. Where it was, really just people come together and just kind of just explaining why they're too blessed. Yeah, I have these problems, but I'm too blessed to be stressed, too blessed to be depressed. Sorry, too blessed to be, just any of these negative feelings.
Do you still do that?
No, it's been a while.
Okay, we'll talk about more about that a little later.
Sounds
But we
good.
gotta start the podcast how we usually do. Yeah, which with something you're familiar with, a community meeting.
All right.
So, how you feeling today?
Today, I'm feeling determined.
Okay. What's your goal for today or this week?
For today and this week is really to just relax and rejuvenate.
Who can you ask for help?
I'll ask my loved ones.
Okay, I'm sure they got you. And just to hold you accountable, what are you going to do this week to feel relaxed and rejuvenated?
This week, what I plan to do, the goal is to just take more time in self care, and with self care, just doing things that I kind of neglected for a while that I enjoy doing, like
Hmm.
drawing. Really just taking time to just listen to music, like not even doing anything, but just sitting down and just listening to music. Just kind of finding things to pour back into me.
All right, I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm gonna check back in later this week.
I appreciate that.
I got you. Um, can you tell me one fact about yourself?
One fact about myself. I'm a lover, not a fighter, ladies. Now let me stop. Um, a fact about myself: I have 8 brothers and sisters.
So, family of nine.
Yeah,
That's there's a
that's my
lot.
favorite fact.
That's a favorite fact. That's a
Yeah,
lot to unpack in there.
a whole lot, a whole lot, a whole lot.
So that are you the youngest or the oldest?
No, I'm right after the middle, so I'm the sixth child.
Okay. What are the names of all your siblings?
All right, the names. So first off is my oldest sister Maria, then Stephanie, and then my oldest brother Leo or Leonard. Then comes Alex, my sister Tamar. Then it's myself, Matthew, my little sister Ruth, my little brother Eric or Ulrich. We just say Eric because it sounds it's
Culture,
easier to pronounce
culture
than
stuff.
Ulrich. Yeah, culture stuff. And then the last one, the baby, is Sam.
Okay, that was a test because ever seen that Breakfast Club clip of like the lady's on the phone and she's like she got 5 kids and they asked her to name her kids and she
Oh
couldn't do it.
man, no, I
That shit
didn't.
was mad funny.
No, I haven't
Um,
seen that.
but sounds like you're a close knit family.
Oh yeah, big
Uh,
time.
being able to name them at least.
Facts, the big
Um,
time.
what does community mean to you?
Community, for me, I see community as more than just a group. I see community as a group that's focused on togetherness. I see community as, how they say it takes a village to raise a child. I feel like it takes a community to raise a child. Like you can have a group of people, but I feel like a community is made when that group is focused on like one goal or one purpose.
Who are some of the pillars in your community or
In my
communities?
in my community or communities, I have two mentors who really just keep me solid, keep me grounded, and hold me accountable. One, you want the names?
If you want to shout them out,
Oh, I bet it. Shout out to Gershom Joseph and John Luke Charles. They definitely, just hold me down, keep me accountable, challenge me to be better, to be greater, and just, thinking of more than just myself.
how did you meet your mentors?
Through church, actually. One of them is the son of, he's a, one of them is the son of um, my pastor, and well, he's now the pastor of the church. And then another one is a pastor of another church who, just came to visit one day, and then things really just went from there. And this was like 16 years ago.
So they've been mentoring you ever since.
Yeah, for a while now.
That's awesome. I've been I don't want to say I don't have a mentor. I guess nobody that I have identified as a mentor, but
Hmm.
I know people that I can go to for advice. So I think that's
Hmm.
great that you have those identified in your
Yeah,
life.
like it's key. It's key if you like to. I feel like anybody. Sorry, I feel like anybody or everyone needs someone who will challenge them to be better. I feel that it's really important, to have, because you don't know everything, so there are a lot of things where you just learn from other people. Other people are pouring into you, and to have someone do that consistently, I think is key. Just to be in a better you.
I definitely agree with that. What was is there a most recent time that you've had to go back to your mentors to be mentored or to seek perspective regarding a situation?
So recently it was actually in regards to like relationship.
I
I'm
mean,
kind.
I'm assuming intimate, an
Uh,
intimate relationship
yeah,
with
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um, just trying to get other perspectives on, moves I should make. Because when you're in it yourself, you have your emotions, you have your feelings and everything like that. And that can kind of just like, how should I say it? Like, just misconstrue your perception, and have you thinking what's not there, So just getting an outside perspective to be like, nah, Matt, you're bugging, or nah, Matt, you should do this, So I went to both of them actually, in regards to it.
They gave you some good advice.
Oh yeah, definitely did,
Okay.
definitely did.
Well, I hope you.
Some painful advice, but it was good.
Sometimes we need that, right? Like you said,
Facts.
somebody just is gonna tell us the truth.
Yeah, man, for real, for
Um, could you? Would you share with me the most recent challenge you overcame?
real. Most recent challenge I overcame, I would say was actually at work. And it was dealing with some, I guess I would say, some backlash, or some things that were just, said about me, like in regards to like slander and whatnot. And really just learning to come out of myself and not react,
Hmm.
but to, just to be proactive and not reactive. As so instead of like getting upset and being like, "Hey, I heard you said this," but really trying to get to the root of the situation, and just trying to solve the problem with like the least amount of mess. So just in the wisest way that I could. I feel like that was one of the most recent challenges that I feel I overcame.
So you're just telling me is instead of being reactive in that situation, you were more so proactive.
Yeah.
And did that behavior change affect the situation?
Um, I would say it did affect the situation. I don't know if it affected it in the way that I would have hoped, or to like the degree that I would have hoped, but there was definitely some change.
So in the future, you Steve, does that affirm that you should be being more proactive, or does it say like, damn, I wish I would have did what I usually do because I would have got the results I wanted.
For me, I feel like there's never a reason to be reactive, at least for me anymore. Growing up, I was someone who was really focused on just reacting, just based off of emotion and whatnot. But something that actually one of my mentors taught me was that emotions are terrible masters but excellent servants. So really using your emotions to um just channel your energy, using your emotions to, you know, um help you as opposed to control you. So I don't react based off my emotions anymore, but I'm more proactive with my emotions and directing them towards, directing them where they should go.
I like that. I really like that because I guess My friend calls this a relapse. Like sometimes we all relapse into old behavior
Mm-hmm.
sometime, and you might fall victim to
Big facts.
your emotion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But even that whole spin on terrible masters but excellent servants is I'm gonna steal that. So
Oh yeah, it's yours, man.
I made that up now.
You got it. You got it.
Uh, what was a pivotal life experience for you?
A pivotal life experience. I would probably say one of the most pivotal life experiences was leaving um my first job after 10 years. So leaving there was definitely a major shift for me.
Do you mind me asking what was that job?
I was working at the Boys and Girls Club in Stamford.
What made you leave?
Um, well, a number of different reasons, but kind of just like there, I was given a change in position, and I didn't agree with it. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna, take my talents elsewhere. Well, not
Okay.
really take my talents elsewhere because I left without another job lined up. But yeah,
So when did you leave?
this was February of 2017.
And you just said, "Oh, nah, I'm out."
Yep.
That must have been a pretty big disagreement.
Oh, not necessarily. I left like on pretty good terms. It was cordial. Like me, I don't like mess. So I left on good terms. But it was a blow. It was definitely a blow for myself, and I believe for them as well.
What would you do differently now?
Make sure that I had another job lined up before I left because that time of unemployment was not sweet.
Um, did you learn? What did you learn about yourself in that time of unemployment?
Um, for me, I think that because I was in that place for so long, because I was in that position, because I was kind of just in that atmosphere for so long, um, views of myself were kind of, I guess I would say, stunted. I felt like, oh, this is the only place I could see myself. This is the only place, I feel a value. This is the only place where the ceiling doesn't get any higher than this. But after leaving there, I was able to, work in schools. I was able to, start my own tutoring business. Which even with that, it ebbs and flows. It has its ups and its downs. So it was just like I was able to see myself more than just being Matt from the Boys and Girls Club, you know, and I couldn't see myself as that until I left there.
Okay. Um, that's very interesting because I left one of my the job I had before I had now, which was
Hmm.
maybe like 6 years ago. I left very similarly. Like I guess it was a disagreement I had though. Like it was a change in role. Like I got hired for one position, and the plan was always to work for and then grow into the next position.
Hmm.
But after it just kept getting put off, and then it was started, and then it had to get stopped because of a staff shortage. Like I was just like, I just no longer want to be here
Yeah,
anymore, and I left. And it was a eye-opening experience for me, like going through interviews and not getting
yeah, man.
callbacks, or
Boy.
honestly, it's like you're on like a spinning cycle, like
Hmm.
like what do I call it? What do they call it when you go through those roundabouts and it has like multiple exits? It's like you're going a
Oh yeah.
roundabout over
Hmm.
and over and
Hmm.
over again,
Hmm.
and you're at a point where you get to choose what your life is gonna look like next.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
realizing that you're at that age where that next decision is gonna shape
Big time,
years of your life.
big
Do you know
time,
what I
big
mean?
time. When you're younger, you could make these choices all willy nilly. Oh, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm just gonna do that. Okay, cool. But man, when you get older, you don't have that luxury. You don't have
Hmm.
that freedom to just do this and do that. Well, some do, but
You gotta really define who you are now
big time,
when you're getting as you get older.
big time.
Um, Makes me also think of what do you do? Because you said you no longer see yourself as Matt from the Boys and Girls Club. how do you see yourself, or what do you how do you value yourself now rather than being somebody that pours themselves into their work?
I think I still see myself as someone who pours himself into their work, but my work is it goes beyond just work. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I feel like for me, my work is like for me, I see myself like my work as caring for others, but on like a grander spectrum than just what I do like career wise. Like I feel like for me, like really leaving when I once I left there, like I just saw so many more possibilities of where I can be an asset to others. So just like through social media, through just volunteering, through just different projects, as opposed to just like, oh, I'm gonna help people in my career and that's it.
Mm-hmm. So hearing that, what do you do now to help people outside of work?
Outside of work, so there is volunteering that I do. Um, there I also have a social media platform where I put out like encouraging videos and whatnot. And just even with like people like DMing me and whatnot, for advice and different things like that. I see myself as kind of all right, I didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Like I see myself as like a self-proclaimed like hope dealer.
Mm-hmm.
We're someone who's like dealing hope as opposed to dealing dope.
No, I
I know
respect
it's a little
it.
corny, but it
Listen,
is what it is.
definitely a little corny, but it's okay. It's okay.
Word, word, word.
No, but I love it because I would feel I would I kind of see myself like that as well.
Mm,
Like giving people hope, and I think of it more so as giving them perspective.
mm-hmm. Mm,
It's like
it's good.
changing how they see themselves, or if they see themselves negatively,
Mm-hmm.
or reinforcing how they see themselves if they see themselves positively.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Um,
That's good.
so you said you do motivational videos on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram,
How do
and
you?
I kind of dabbled in TikTok as well, but I'm not completely there yet with
What
TikTok.
they're not showing you the love on TikTok or
I
what?
mean, they showed me love, but not as much love on Instagram. And that's for the kids.
Yeah, but
that's for the new generation. So me, I'm accepting that I'm an old head now.
hmm
So like getting into that, dabbling in, it's just not there for me. It's so much attention and focus you have to put on it, and I
yeah,
just don't
but
have it.
you might not have it right now, but that's like something you might need to strive for because
Yeah,
listen, if you want to deal hope, you can't just deal we're at one spot the whole time, right?
facts.
People
That's
need
big
hope all over
facts.
the world.
That's big facts. That's big
So
facts.
you might be limiting your message like that.
I know, man. I know. I'm gonna get there. I'm like slowly but surely. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely.
But what was I asking? What motivated you to give motivational speeches or motivational videos and stuff?
Um, I mean, I've always been like an encourager.
Hmm.
Like people would just come to me like, "Oh, Matt," like just ask me questions about stuff, and like I've had a drive for it. Like I loved it. And I think it was like I think it was maybe in like March of I don't remember the year. I have to go back on Instagram and see. But I was just like, you know what? I just want to put out a video, and it was about knowing your worth
Hmm.
on Instagram. So I put it out, um, and I just got so much love from it. And it's not even about the love, but people were really blessed by it. People really received it, and I was like, oh snap! Like I feel like this could be a thing. Like I have like some wisdom to partake,
Hmm.
And for me, like I've always been someone who like dealt with like depression. I dealt with like, struggling to see the worth in myself. So for me it was like for me it's like understanding like there are a lot of people in this position, and I feel like I've been given the tools to like really help people like bring themselves out of that. Like even with myself, like bring myself out of that, bring and help bring others out of that, like through like this hope, through
Okay.
like giving this hope, because this like times are rough.
Yeah.
This is like life is not easy, and you get into these places where like despair is just there like knocking at your door, So it's really just like seeing the need that needs to be applied and just applying it.
Okay, and I I love that for you because it is very important to share what you're going through.
Hmm.
Um, I thank you for sharing about your battles with depression.
Yes,
I do
sir.
want to ask, what are you doing now in regarding that, in
Hmm.
regarding of your depression? First, I want to
Hmm.
ask that, and actually, I want you to answer
All right,
because
bet.
then I'm not gonna forget the other questions I have.
All right, cool, good. Oh, you better than me. I'll man, listen, my memory is horrible. But so with depression, um, what I've actually seen to be one of the greatest uh things that I like things to battle my depression at least is to pour into others. You know, like for me, like helping others and being a blessing to others, and it really not I wouldn't say like it gives me a sense like a sense of worth, a sense like it doesn't make me feel like useful, but it's just that like man, like I'm like just to be able to like be a blessing, just being able to do that for someone else just makes me feel good, and it just like it does. Well, actually, maybe it does make me feel useful. So being a blessing to others does make me feel useful because not being useful is one of the triggers to my depression. Not feeling useful is one of the triggers to my depression. So being able to be a blessing,
Hmm.
you know, um, has definitely helped.
And I think that can that is a big help. It does help somebody find purpose, right?
Big time.
But I want to let you know, like, you are somebody of value, and I hope you also understand that your purpose isn't only in helping other people.
Absolutely.
Because I'll tell you from my own experience, it's like you think you're doing yourself a big justice by pouring into other people because yeah, you're doing great for them.
Hmm.
But if you're not mentally 100% or even really loving yourself as the way that you know you could simply for being you, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Um, it can it can feel like you're pouring, and you have enough to pour until you don't.
Mm, that's good. It's facts.
You know,
That's big facts. Cause I've
and
gotten there.
and if you're pouring into how do I put this? If you're spending all this time pouring into other people, like at some point you're gonna just, like you said, find yourself back into a position,
Hmm.
especially when there's nobody to help in that moment.
Big time.
And I've been there
Hmm.
in a real way, and
Absolutely.
I say that to you as somebody that I consider in my community,
Hmm.
um, because you're one of the first people that I told about my situation.
Hmm.
And when we sat down, I had a real conversation when I came back to work, and you were one of the first people that says, "Yo, you should share that because it's very influential,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of people out there that need to hear that story."
Absolutely.
You know, and I
Absolutely.
appreciated that. That made me. I think it was the next day I went on my boy's podcast. Growth is competitive. If you
Hmm.
want to find somebody, any listeners want to find that, um, under Jakai Wilson. That was a very pivotal moment for me
Hmm.
because it made me own who I was in a real way, and that's from hearing you talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and this also brings me to say my last podcast. I was talking with Ashley,
Hmm.
and she had mentioned like healthy distractions. You know,
Mm.
and yeah, helping people can be great, but do you think that's a distraction from helping yourself?
I mean, for me, I feel like I wouldn't say it's a distraction because I do believe like that is my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
To help others. I feel like that is my purpose, and me walking in my purpose is one of the things that brings me joy. So it's one of the things that like counteracts the depression. So I wouldn't see it as a distraction at all. I think that it's just something that needs to be balanced with self-care. It's something that needs to be balanced with just taking care of myself because they say too much of anything is a bad thing. So me even too much of not walking in my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
could be a bad thing because I'm not
Yeah.
putting more focus. I'm not putting focus towards something else that needs attention as well. So it's really just about balance for me, as opposed to um like it being a distraction.
I say, like they say moderation in everything, right?
Yes, sir.
But I believe accept and loving yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Um, would you consider yourself a good decision maker?
Oh, snap. That's a good question. Oh man, that's a good question. I hmm, I'm gonna. It's not like really answering the question, but I'm gonna answer it like this. I feel like I'm a better decision maker when it's like crunch time. So generally, I would say I'm a fair decision maker. Like, I'll really give myself like 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
But then when there's like a problem like that needs to be solved, like, oh man, I'm on it. I don't know why, but it's like because it's like a good thing, but it's not a good thing because it's like, yo, why do you only show up when there's like a problem, or why do you show up best when there's a problem to be solved? So for me, I would say like I'm a fair decision maker, but when there's a problem, oh yeah, I'm on it.
What was the last decision you made and you were proud of?
Hmm. Last decision I made. It could be like any decision or like
Any decision.
I made the decision to walk away from something that I believed was really good for me. Like in my mind, I felt like it was really good for me, but it wasn't serving me the way that it should be.
Are you willing to elaborate?
Sure. Um, so there's someone who I was not necessarily dating, but we were like going into that
You're
space.
talking.
Yeah, we were talking. I don't even like to say talking because we grown. We wasn't talking. We were going into that space of like dating. Um, and I was for it, she was for it, but I think that well, I can't even think for her. I'm not sure like what was really holding her back. I think it was just like the reality of like like a lot of people say like, when things are too good to be true, it's scary. For me, I don't know. I don't really believe in that for myself. Like that could be true for you, but for me, I don't believe in that for myself. But I think that that's where her head was at. And for me, like she would be in and out kind of, and it was something I really wanted. So I was like holding on, like she'll figure it out in time. But
Mm-hmm.
after a while, I was just like, like, and this was actually what I talked to my mentors about. Um, and I was just like, I can't hold on to this because at the end of the day, like, yeah, because I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm gonna, I love love. I love the idea of love, so I'll romanticize like the situation, like, oh, this is like the movies, where she keeps running and I have to be patient, all that corny stuff. I'm real corny. But so I'm thinking like, yeah, I got to be patient and just wait on love, wait on this, wait on that, whatever, whatever. But at the same time, like I'm suffering, silently, like I'm suffering silently. So I was just like, you know what, like it's gonna hurt, but I have to walk away from this, man. I can't keep holding on to this because who knows whether or not it's gonna come to me or not.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's gonna be as a proficient communicator, you know.
Yeah,
And
man.
sometimes you gotta take the answers or the things they're telling you through their actions
Hmm.
rather than with their words, you know.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation as well. Like when you're talking to somebody and you're like, when y'all talk, is the energy is there, y'all
Hmm.
vibe and everything,
Yeah,
and
man.
then you stop talking for a couple days or a week, and then come
Hmm.
back again, and it's like it's up and
It's
down.
it's always love.
Yeah, and it's
Hmm.
but at the same time, it's not healthy for you to expect more from it. Like
Facts.
expectations are a hell of a thing. I got a
Yeah,
friend
man.
that all he does is tell me, remind me of keeping me in check when my expectations are showing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you really gotta go into things clear minded and what was the what you talked about? Don't let your emotions be your master.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Yeah.
make them your
Terrible
servant.
masters, but excellent servants.
Yeah. And I thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh no, most definitely, most definitely.
I think that we got. I feel like we got a little bit off track, but that was regarding your decision making.
Yeah.
Um.
It
So you said you
was the
think
last
that,
decision I have like that I made.
and you think that you're a better decision maker now, right?
Than like years ago.
Or just
Oh
however
well,
long
yeah,
ago.
yeah, 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 definitely. Hmm.
Okay. What was the last decision you made and you regretted?
Hmm. Last decision that I made and I regretted. Hmm. One doesn't really come to mind, to be honest.
Oh, so you just been on your shit lately, huh?
I mean, sure, I hope so, or maybe I'm just blocking it out.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll find our way back to
I
this. I think
bet.
this is a very important topic to discuss with you.
Yeah, I'll think about that. I'll think about that
Uh,
as the time goes on.
Before I go on, where can people find you? Where can people find your motivational videos?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at MC two underscores and Saint SAINT. MC two underscores Saint SAINT.
Thank you. Um, Another part of this podcast I usually talk about is the Book of Human Emotions
Mm-hmm.
by Tiffany Watt Smith. Do you know what ama is?
Ooh, no sir.
Okay, it's a Japanese emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they something that they created for their culture, or just to define by their culture. It's a feeling of comfort from being consoled or at peace in someone's arms.
Mm.
It's like when you get to release this deep feeling of vulnerability and a sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt that?
Yes.
Could you give me an example?
The first example that comes to mind man, is actually when I was in conversation with the person who I mentioned earlier, who I felt like I had to walk away from. We were just having a conversation, and I I told her a couple things about things that I went through in my childhood, and like there were certain things that she did, like in the like just throughout the conversation. I was just like, oh snap. So for me, like one of my love languages is physical touch. So like she gave me like an impromptu hug during the conversation. When we were talking, she was like rubbing my head, like yeah, rubbing my head, and she was going forward, not backwards, so she was maintaining the waves. But yeah, it was just like just in that it just felt warm, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And when you just said that word and you were explaining what it was, I was just like, yo, it just feels like warmth, So just experiencing that was just, boy, it was different. I loved it. It was great.
I love that for you, and I love that you were able to experience that because in this conversation and knowing you, I often hear and see you as somebody that is they say the antonym of amae is omae,
Hmm.
and it's a feeling of not wanting to be indebted by somebody, so you often do things for other.
Mm.
And I see you as somebody not to be indebted, but just speaking of who you are for
Hmm.
yourself is you give a lot, and you do a lot. So it feels very different when when you're receiving
Receive it. Yeah.
what you're
Yep.
giving, and it's hard to find that. It's hard to find somebody that's willing to give you
Facts.
what you give out
Hmm.
without asking. It
Yeah.
means it's
Without
different.
asking is
It's
big.
different.
It's big. Without asking is big.
But that takes me back to thinking. Do you ever feel like resentment because of how much you give out?
Nah, never. Because for me, I don't give with expectation. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
give to receive. Like I feel like and I really see it as a blessing because like I'll do something for someone and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like you didn't have to do that," or "This was so much," and for me, I'm just like, what, for real? Like, it really wasn't even that big,
Hmm.
So for me, I don't see giving as a chore, so I don't really expect anything back. I see giving as kind of like just a basis, like, of humanity, or like just goodness,
Hmm.
where, like, I mean, you're one of my peoples. Even if you're not one of my peoples, like, just to care for others. Like, I feel like you should care for everyone, and just giving or whatever, or just being a blessing to somebody is just like the basis. So I never regret, like, man, I should have done that for them, because I'm not expecting anything in return, you know. Even in a relationship, like, I'm not like, for me, like, I see like relationships as like a competition, really, where it's just like, I'm gonna do this for you, and I'm not expecting you to do anything for me, but, like, you're gonna one up me, and then I'm like, oh shoot, okay, bet I'm gonna have to one up you. I feel like that's how it should be. I'm not expecting, but because you gave me this, I'm gonna give you two times that. You know, so for me, it's never resentment. Um, it's really just like, yeah, I'm not expecting anything. I'm just doing it because that's who I am.
What about when? Have you ever been in a time where you were like, I want to say down and out, but in a lower spectrum,
Hmm.
vibrating in a lower spectrum? Do you have people that lift you up, or do you like? Is it not upset? Is it upsetting when people don't? Like, how does that play out for you?
For me, man, I could actually use uh, one of my lowest one of my lowest points that I could ever, like, we had one. I feel like this was my lowest point. Summer of 2020, um, was like the darkest time for me, because I was literally, for that entire summer, I probably saw maybe 3 days of sunlight. I was locked in my room that entire summer, and I was just going through it. And for me, it was really like, people, like, you don't really have to do anything for me, but if I just know that you're there, that's it. So people like checking in with me or whatever. Like, yeah, in that moment, I was probably just like, oh, thank you for reaching out, whatever, like that. But it was like afterwards, I was just like, man, like, they really held me down, through that time. So honestly, I just went on a tangent. I don't remember the question.
No, that's fine. That was you. You were answering it essentially.
All right, bet.
Talking about how do you feel like when you're vibrating lower, and then you said
Yes.
like you give me an example of
Hmm.
what you were going through, and
Yeah.
I guess those were people that
Yeah,
do
just
reach out
checking
for you.
in and just showing love. Like,
Were those mainly family or friends as
Fam,
well?
not really even family. Well, yeah, my siblings, yeah, but really just friends.
Okay. Um, would you be willing to share what drove you into that depression?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like that, like I have seasons, like just random seasons. Usually, like in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, like this winter, like I've been good. But I'll just have random seasons where I'll just feel low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know if it's like a seasonal depression thing. I don't know what it is. But that summer, like, it just came crashing down. Also because I was unemployed at that time too, because COVID, when COVID hit, just a storm of
So you said you were unemployed at that time,
yeah.
and COVID, and you're
Hmm.
dealing with COVID,
No, I wasn't dealing with COVID,
but
but I'm just saying, that was during the, like, quarantine time.
uh
So I was unemployed, and so I wasn't able to provide anything. So that was one thing, and then two, just that wave of depression hitting, it was like a perfect storm. So I don't really know what triggered it, other than not working, but
and this was this a span of time from leaving your other job and when you were not working?
no, no, no. So I left that job in 2017, and I found something like a few months later. But I lost that job. So in 2020, I lost a job in June.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, after losing that job in June, because I was laid off because of like, budget and whatever. But after losing that job, that summer that followed was just, yeah.
It's a hard time.
Hmm.
Well, I'm happy that you had people to help you through that, or at least check on you. And
Most
I'm glad
definitely.
you made it. You weathered that storm.
Most definitely.
Um, do you still have seasonal bouts of depression?
It's been a while. It's been a while actually. I can't even remember when the last one was really. I think it was probably that summer, honestly.
Okay.
But I've been pretty good for a while.
The beauty in being educated or being more, yes, just simply being educated regarding emotions is funny because the first time I heard seasonal depression, it was from one of my white friends,
Mm.
and I was like, "That's some white people shit." But as time goes on, you really learn like how serious it is, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Facts.
mental health is much more important than our culture gives credit to as a whole. I know there's like this big awakening of it now,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I know it's just very interesting
Yeah.
when you get really informed about something.
Facts.
Um, and I like I said, I appreciate you taking the time out to be vulnerable and share
Oh
your
no, most
story with me.
definitely, man. Somebody needs to hear it, right?
Exactly, even if it's one person,
Even if it's
gotta
just one person.
inspire somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave you a test and told you to give me a 30-second motivational speech right now, could you do it?
I bet I could do that.
Go.
Oh man. Oh, just right now?
Go right now.
All right. Are you gonna have to give me a topic?
Give you a topic.
Yeah.
Self love.
Self love. All right. Bet. So self love. You can't serve anybody else unless you love yourself first. Unless you pour into yourself first. Um, with self love, you have to learn how to cater to you before you cater to anybody else. Um, and it's important to know what you love. It's important to know what pours into you. It's important to know what also triggers you because loving yourself, you need to know what you need to stay away from, not only what you need to pour into yourself. Um, Self love, no, it deals with knowing who to hang out with. It deals with knowing who to center yourself with because there are people that pour into you, there are people that take away from you. You have leeches and you have people who bless you. So self love, I feel like it deals a lot with like your relationships with others as well. So self love incorporates loving yourself, and it incorporates how you deal with others.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, MC underscore underscore Saint
Here you go.
SAINT.
Here you go.
No, and I'm happy that you chose that. You use those words because I chose the topic.
Hmm.
Um, because it's something that I think that you're very good at. Very good at motivating people. But I want to see you take what you just said and apply that to yourself. You
I
understand?
hear that.
Especially when you said, um, self love is it's like how you treat yourself, and you gotta pour into yourself before you
Hmm.
pour into other people. And
Hmm.
how you said before, you kind of fill your cup by pouring into other people,
Yes,
but you
sir.
gotta pour into yourself first and know what
Absolutely.
you love to do, right? And you talked about just getting back into drawing and doing
Hmm.
all those other things. So I promise you, I'm gonna check up on you. I'm gonna check in on you
Do so,
before the new
please.
year, and I want to hopefully hear about a couple things that you did to show some self love.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't know. You might see a couple videos come out too, cause that's self love for me too.
I love that. I love that. This is self love for me. Just doing this podcast and be able to
That's
have a
what's up.
moment where I can talk with a brother, with my sisters,
Yes, sir.
with people I truly cherish,
Hmm.
and people I don't know. To like I said, hoping that you get to know yourself better, I get to know
Most
myself better,
definitely.
and we really get to picture who we want to be.
Yes, sir.
You know, um, when is the last time you cried?
Ooh, the last time I cried, I'll probably say, "Dang, people gonna hear this, right?" I'll probably say last week, honestly. And that was just when I made the decision to let go.
Mm. How you dealing with that now?
I mean, I'm good. I'm in a good space now. I'm kind of conflicted in a way, because for me, I'm the type of person like I'll let go, but I'll still be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wrestling with the being there still, and kind of like leaving that door open.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I am now. Battling with that.
Takes me right back to saying you better be there for yourself first.
Oh, most definitely,
You know.
most definitely.
Um, Who or what in your life makes you smile?
My family. My family, man.
You got a favorite sibling?
Nah.
Oh,
Nah.
here you go. Here you go.
Come on, man. I mean, nah, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even
See,
gonna
I'm,
go there.
I
I'm
was,
not even gonna go there.
I'm the only person that's gonna keep it real when it comes to this favorite sibling stuff.
Here you go.
Everybody got a favorite sibling. I don't
No,
care if
that's
you
not
got
even
two. I don't care if
facts.
you got three. And listen, I'm not gonna even throw you under the bus about
Man.
who you told me to call today.
So God forbid,
So
if everybody, God forbid, if all of them were hanging from a cliff,
hmm
you'd be like, I'm gonna choose you. What would you do?
It depends on what their bank accounts was looking out.
Oh
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
man.
kidding. I'm just kidding. But if would I choose who?
Who would you choose?
Who would I choose? I would choose based on how I feel, and I feel like I know who I would choose, and you can call it what it is.
Word?
Yeah, she knows what it is. I know what it is. My other
Oh
siblings, we just
man.
got a different bond, man. It's like
Nah,
that's
I hear
okay.
that. I hear
Family
that.
is family. Friends are friends. You have a friend that you like more. I love all of them the same,
Mm-hmm.
but no, you say I love all of them differently,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes just how what we talk about and how we talk changes like on the depth of it. And
Word.
that's
I hear
just
that.
is what it is for
Like
me.
I have a sibling who like I chill with the most.
Mhm.
But that's really because we're both just in the same area. Like
Mhm.
I'll chill with all of my siblings. But yeah, nah, I don't have a favorite though.
Mhm.
And that's not even me
You don't.
being
You probably don't need to have a favorite, but you have one that you favor.
that's the same thing.
I
This
almost had
dude
you.
trying to
I almost had you.
this dude trying to change up the words, man. That's the same thing.
Oh, that's beautiful that your family is a thing that makes you smile.
Yeah.
But you shout out your siblings. You want to shout out your mom and dad?
Oh yeah, you already know. Marie and Leon, love y'all.
Okay, shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Maria She cooks good Haitian food.
Boy,
I'm in the
you need
port
to
now, so I'm gonna have to pull up.
pull up. Pull up.
She got creme for the holidays.
Oh, you already know.
It's at the crib.
And she got a new recipe, boy.
Okay, I'm expecting that bottle this week then.
Got you. Yo, $30 if y'all trying to
Here you
cop
go.
some cremas.
There you go. Yeah,
$30.
$30 if y'all want to cop it. It'll be free though, right?
Got you.
Alright.
You too.
What does self care mean to you?
Self care. I mean, I feel like self care is like literally in the word, or is like self explanatory. It's caring for yourself.
Mhm.
And people will see it as like, oh, I'm about to go on a spa day, self care day. But self care could really just mean, like cutting off this person because they're not serving you, or it could mean like leaving that job because that job is taking more than it's giving. So I feel like self-care is really like literally caring for yourself,
Mhm.
and doing things that shows that you care for yourself.
What was the last thing you did to show that you care for yourself?
Real talk. I bought some new gear.
Okay. Was it what kind of gear?
Well, you can see these boots that I have like this
Okay,
night.
okay. You pulled up
Yeah,
with
know
the
what I mean?
boots for the
Nah, I
podcast.
mean,
We're gonna have to take a shot. We'll take a shot of the boots, my boy.
A little
Take a shot of the boots. We need
we
it for
put
the
them
gram.
together.
You put it
Let me put them together. Not me. Not me.
He got the stamps everything.
You want to click them twice? Let me stop.
I appreciate
But
it.
yeah, because I've never really. I've always cared about like self image and whatnot, but I got to a point where I was just like, just I'm just gonna be comfortable.
Mhm.
But recently I got to a place where I was like, nah, like I need to not show out, like not to impress anybody, but I just want to look good and know that I look good. So I just really started going out and just getting this. Like, oh snap, this joint tough. Let me get these. So really just caring about my self image for me. You
Mhm.
know,
No, I love that because I think there's a that's real. Like
big time.
yeah, people be like, yeah, this and that shouldn't define you. Yeah, it doesn't define you,
Hmm.
but certain things make you feel good.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
you don't have to as long as it's in moderation.
Hmm.
You know, um, do you ever tell yourself, "I love you"?
Hmm. Nah, I don't.
should think about that.
I really should. I don't though.
Well, as your brother, I love you.
I love you too, bro.
Appreciate that.
And it's not just words. Like I mean that.
I know. Our bond is deep.
Yes, sir.
But speaking of, you said, self-care. So I can, in my head, I'm trying to pinpoint a time where I realized where things switched for you, where you started coming to work extra fly and stuff.
I mean,
and it was around the same time that, cause you didn't have waves 4 months ago.
Are you? What? I mean, I had waves since I was 10 years old. Come on now.
No, you was a vagabond back in the day too, huh?
Nah, I was never a vagabond.
Your parents was coming at you about the waves?
Nah. Oh, no.
No do-rags in the house?
Nah.
How you get waves?
How'd I get waves?
Yeah.
Literally, at 10 years old, man, I started with the Dax. I started with that red pomade wave grease. That joint had my head feeling like a helmet.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, nah. I went through it. I went through it with the wave game, but now it's just here now.
Just is what it is now.
I woke up, no do-rag, no nothing. Brush my hair.
All right. I'm hating a little bit because I ain't never had waves.
I mean,
and now
listen,
it's like it's just too late for me.
It's never too late, man.
Yeah,
Grow that back.
Stop playing with me.
Grow that back. I'll get you right. I'll show you what's up.
But this next section of the podcast is called "Feel This Way."
Mm-hmm.
I will say a word, phrase, or statement, and I want you to tell me what emotions, thoughts, and memory it sparks.
All right, bet.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
First word is identity.
Excellence.
And is that how you see yourself?
Absolutely. Or what I aspire to be.
Okay, and we aspire every day. Close friend of mine says every day is a new life. So another opportunity to aspire to be excellent, or just be excellent. Having 8 siblings. Is it a challenge, or was it a challenge to define your own identity?
So it's interesting because with my 8 siblings, I always say this, like each sibling, so it's an uneven number, but each sibling had someone to be with, except me. So each sibling had someone to like hang out with. I was the only one I was just like, so I twiddled my fingers. So my identity was really, like growing up, my identity was really wrapped around like toys and video games.
Mm-hmm.
So it was difficult at first, but I feel like once I got older, I don't know when the shift happened, but the shift happened. Once I got older, like I really just became that guy, where like we're all like when we go out, like we're like when we go out and whatnot, like people just genuinely love us, but it got to a point where it was just like if I wasn't there, they'd be like, oh, where's Matt, and like this isn't me like trying to like shout myself out or just clout or anything like that, like not at all, but I just be like, I felt like for me, like my identity was just like that vibrant person.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't anything that I like really did to earn it. It wasn't anything that I even wanted. It kind of just happened. Like, where's Matt? Because he's the energy or whatever like that. So I feel like for me, like my identity and my family is just like, yeah, really solidified. I can't really say what it is, but it's just like, yeah, like Matt is that person.
Okay, and does that come from like you said you can't identify when it changed? Was there a certain point where you gained a certain level of self-confidence?
Oh, big time. When I went into high school.
When you went to high school?
Yeah.
What changed? Was it the gear?
Oh, the gear changed, but I think it was like my relationship with my siblings was definitely one of the biggest changes to it. Like, and it was weird. It was like once I crossed over from middle school to high school, not even with my siblings, it was really with my brothers, my older brothers. Once I crossed over from middle school to high school, immediately it was just like, all right, Matt, you're accepted. Like from like my earlier years, like I was like bullied and whatnot by my brothers, because they're older brothers, they do that. But once I crossed over, it was just like, yeah, Matt, like you're one of us now.
You arrived.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I've arrived. Like they're giving me, my brother's giving me his old phones and stuff like that. I'm getting this, I'm getting that. I was like, oh, snap, okay, I like this. And then once that happened, like things just changed.
Okay. Big shout out to your parents though, because 9 kids,
Boy.
same parents, both mom and dad.
Mm-hmm. Major.
That's what's the word I'm looking for? That's black excellence for me.
Yes, sir.
That's very beautiful, and I love
Yes, sir.
not knowing them. I love their bond for that. Um, the next word I have is procrastination.
Oh, boy, me.
Why?
I honestly, that's just me. I don't like, and it's like every time I procrastinate, I regret it,
Hmm.
and I'm like, man, I can't keep doing this to myself. And then the next time comes, and I do it again, and it's the same thing every time.
So, is that something that you want to work on?
Oh, absolutely. It's something that I'm currently working on, but I really don't know exactly. Like I've done research and whatnot, but I don't really know exactly what I need to do to battle that, or to like get
And,
rid of it.
and I'm not an expert at all in anything, but I would say take it one step at a time.
It's tough, man.
Set,
Yo, that procrastination, boy.
set a small goal, and I
Mhm.
think when we're talking, you kind of part of you almost justifies it by being a better decision maker in crunch time.
Mhm.
When I truthfully don't
That's
believe
true.
any of us are. I think it might spark creativity,
Mhm. Mhm.
but when you have time to really think through something and get all the possibilities, yeah, we can overthink sometimes,
Mhm.
but it's only overthink it and really understand the situation at a deeper level. You get me? I mean,
Big time.
at some point, you got to make a decision. You got to take action.
Mhm.
But um, there's no situation where being better prepared doesn't benefit you.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
And when you think of it like that, it's like, why not?
Mhm.
Um, what what is something in your head, or what is a goal that you have for yourself that
Like,
you've been procrastinating?
I've been procrastinating this fitness journey.
Fitness journey.
Mhm.
What's one step that you could take this week to get you closer to it?
Well, it's actually something I'm currently working on.
Mhm.
Is creating like a daily schedule for myself.
Mhm.
And I feel like for me, like one of the biggest issues, like just in regards to my fitness journey, is just like, oh, I can't find the time throughout the day to do it. But I feel like just creating a solid schedule, um, and just going by that will help me to create that time. Like, cause there's no way I can't get like 45 minutes to an hour in every day, just focused on fitness, but it's just me in my mind. Like I don't want to have to prepare for that. Like I don't want to have to sit down and map that out because I'm not a mapper. I'm not a like I'm not a planner. But to be a better version of like as I'm getting older, I'm learning that even though I'm not that person, that's something that I need to become to be better. Like I need to evolve and I need to evolve and adapt, and that's one of the things I need to adapt to if I want to become a better version of myself. So that's something that I'm working on, but slowly but surely.
Okay. And this begets the point that we were just talking about. You don't like that. You're not a big planner, but you're not taking that next step on your fitness journey because you feel like you have to plan.
Mhm.
And that in itself is almost like a sort of distraction, you know? Like I'm telling you myself, like I'm not the best with planning as well. Procrastination is something I still struggle with now. Not,
Mhm.
but I'm much better than I used to be. I give myself that credit. But like even when on my own fitness journey of wanting to get back in the gym, I signed up. I tell myself I'd like to go 3 or 4 times a week, but I go when I go. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't try to put that pressure on. Oh, I need to go at this time. I need to go at this time because if one thing falls out of place and I lose my time for that day, then you kind of like, I don't know, call it depression, but you beat
Yeah.
yourself up
Yeah, because you
about
didn't achieve that goal.
you know
Mhm.
where nothing is that perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't even think of it. You need to start thinking. You don't need to think of My advice would be you don't need to think of it as I need to time my day out perfectly. I think you should tell yourself, I'm going to work out one day this week and see how that goes for you,
Mhm.
you know? Well, again, then again, like I said, I'm not an expert in anything.
Nah, word. But it's like small victories.
Yeah, give yourself that one small victory. When you say you're going to work out, what does that look like? Like, are you going to go to the gym? Are you going to do workouts at home?
I mean, my only thing about the gym is that they can get annoying with like the emails and the text messages. Like they will pester you. They're annoying. But like for me, like home workouts would work, but it's limited. But there are other like free opportunities that we have. Like I don't know if you know, but we have a Connect with the Y.
Really?
Yeah, where we get in there for free.
Oh, you got to put me on
Got you.
after
Got
this for
you.
sure. Don't play with me.
No, I got you. I
All
got
right,
you.
that's gonna be dope because I could go work out after work
Boom.
sometimes.
Exactly.
A week ago.
Man, we get off at this different times.
Remember we got something in the work store. Remember?
Oh yeah, where.
Uh,
You're gonna have to cut that out. Cut that
no,
part
we
out.
good. So we'll talk about that
All
in the
right,
future.
sounds good.
Next thing I have is DC trip with Alex.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
What?
DC Triple Alex.
Yeah.
Word.
Did you not go on a trip to DC with Alex?
When?
No.
I mean, not recently.
It doesn't have to be recently.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
Oh man, it was a vibe. It's always a vibe when we get together, boy.
Okay.
Man, I'm shoot. I thought he was talking about in the future. I was like, oh, we going again?
Oh no.
Man.
What did y'all do?
So I have a brother who lives in Baltimore, so it's like an hour from DC. But like you already know, like we go out, and like literally we could have a good time just hanging at the crib, like, and it's just straight laughs. But yeah, we hung out at the crib. We've gone out, the nightlife and whatnot, and boy, that DC nightlife. Well, it was better pre-COVID. It's a little different now, but
You been out
DC's
there
still a
recently?
vibe. What was that?
You been out there recently, or your brother told you?
Oh no, I've been out there.
Recently?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think this summer.
Oh, all right. Shout out to you. I always tell myself I want to make it out to DC at some point.
You know what? You about to go on the next one.
Just let me know. I'm out.
I got you. Yo, DC's a vibe.
All right.
DC's a vibe.
All right. That's what's up.
Beautiful black women.
I'm here for that. I know. I will say to people listening, Matt is definitely that guy when it comes to keeping people safe and getting them where they gotta go.
Oh man. Yo,
I had quite the night the other day. Like,
boy.
it was a good night though. It was a good night.
Ryan speaking Spanish, boy. I was like, yo, what's going on?
I woke up and I was home. I don't know how I got there. I didn't have my car. I was like, damn, how I'm getting to work. I was out. No, don't. I wasn't late. Definitely. I was late. Whatever.
This is like hour and a half late.
But that shit we had a good time, man.
Yo.
I'm definitely not messing with Lamont and Kyla again.
Oh man, yo, they're trouble.
Scotty, Lamont and Scotty.
Lamont and Scotty are trouble. I'm telling y'all.
But low key, I'm looking forward to it though.
Got you.
The next phrase I have is Boston Celtics.
Come on now, the greatest ever.
Greatest ever.
The greatest ever.
Oh wow.
The greatest ever.
That's how you feel? How did you feel about Jason Tatum's dunk?
My boy baptized. He baptized Giannis' son. Giannis had both hands up. Jason Tatum, man, shut up. Baptized my boy.
How long you been a Celtics fan?
Since actually.
Oh, word. So yeah.
Because I've always been. My fault. I'm a little congested here, man.
You good? Don't take your time.
But shoot, we need to pause real quick.
You need a cough?
Not him straight.
103.
103.
We're not cutting nothing. Keep going.
All right, but I've always been a KG fan. Kevin Garnett. So because he was just always just raw and just mean, and I'm not that person. So I lived that vicariously through him because he was just a bully. I was like, ugh. So in 08, I was like, yo, what team is? Because I was like, yo, let me just start watching basketball. What team is Kevin Garnett on? And they were like, oh, he's on the Celtics. I said, copy. That's the Celtics. And what's crazy was that's the year they won the championship. So people were just like, oh, you only like that because they won. I was like, oh, here y'all go.
It's that time, man.
But yeah, it was really just because KG was on that team, and then afterwards I just followed them.
Okay. I'm not. I know a lot of crazy Celtics fans.
Boy, these
They
Celtics
got. It's
fans.
like a cult almost.
A little bit, a little bit.
Um,
We ride for hours.
the last phrase I have is affirmation.
Affirmation. Love, love God, love yourself, love others. Well, love God, love others, love yourself.
Okay, I like that. And the last question I have for you is speaking about going through everything we talked about. Who is Matthew Dorissaint?
Who is Matthew Dorissaint? Matthew Dorissaint is Matthew Dorissaint is love is a lover. Matthew Dorissaint is a fighter. Matthew Dorissaint is that dude. Matthew Dorissaint is here for you.
I appreciate that. And I end every podcast with a poem.
All right.
I'm gonna keep it light and sweet. I'm getting low, my guys, so I'm definitely gonna start coming back with the new joints soon.
I bet. And this is
But
one of yours, right?
oh, I always read my own poems.
I bet it. Let's get it.
Um, the most lethal poison, not the berry of a huckle tree, nor the sting of a box jelly flea, but preordained people using politics to police you. They manipulate law and create false perceptions to mislead you. These poisonous falsehoods that lead to mental imprisonment. Mental imprisonment. Some don't get visits. Some never live out their sentence. Some get by doubling their tithe to forego their penance and call it religion. This is something that holds us.